Hey, I wanted to hop on here real quick and just do a little message for you. It was something that I found very interesting, and it was during a healing session I had with one of my healers. And when we were revising some of the attributes that, some of my exes had had, we started analyzing their behaviors and their tendencies and how that actually related back to my dad. And basically, it turns out I was dating my dad, or I was, let's say, attracting partners that had qualities and characteristics of my dad that I didn't even realize. So the question really became, okay, so what do I do about it now? So, first of all, what I had to do was I had to sit there and look back and analyze each partner and what attribute of my dad that they had. Because some of it I didn't even actually realize until, her and I are having that conversation. And then I realized, okay, well, what it was is because there was still trauma from my relationship with my dad, that would be things that you attract in a partner that you actually end up needing to heal. So when you look back at it, for me it was my dad, but for you it could be your dad or your mom. And look at it this way: if you had some trauma or some past stuff that you haven't healed from your childhood, it's always going to come back up in your life, whether it be through a relationship or at some point in time, even if it's at work, whatever, it's going to come back and resurface. So the question is analyze your relationship with your mom or your dad and realize, was there something lacking? Was there trauma? And then start looking at your patterns. Look at how you've chosen partners in the past, or partners that you have chosen, and are they mirroring something of your mother or father? So for instance, my one relationship, he was a cheater. He was a cheater and a narcissist. So that was that person. And then when I flipped to the second person, I wasn't even figuring out like what he did, or how he could have been like my dad. But then when I witnessed my dad in action with his partner, I realized, oh my God, that's what I chose in my ex. So I witnessed my dad being very controlling, very, very, very controlling, and that was my other partner. He was very controlling, like you couldn't do anything, and he was very insecure. And then when we had analyzed another and the third relationship and the latest one that I was in, again, narcissistic tendencies, claiming that they were going to hurt themselves if you didn't stay or if you didn't do this in order to trap you in, and different little things. And I was like, oh my God. Some of it I didn't even know at the time that my dad did. I actually had to go back and ask my mom and confirm with my mom that these were things that had happened. And she said, yes, for sure. So some of it I was able to identify, and some of it like didn't click right away, and it clicked after. So then I was like, okay, well, that's really interesting. So basically the idea is that once you've now identified what the issue was, okay, then you go in and you find whatever modality you're going to use to heal it. And then once that trauma is healed, you're going to start attracting people on a higher vibration and on a better level, because you're no longer needing to satisfy and mirror or work on that issue because you've resolved it. So I hope that helps. Basically, I always love to share my story and what I've gone through. And I mean, I'm still exploring. Literally just this week, I ended up cutting my dad off. So we're no longer in communication at all. And it was interesting that within the same week, I had a revelation from my ex that I'm still processing. And then, so that happened on a Monday, and then my dad thing happened on a Wednesday, and I was just like, holy shit, like, oh my God. Literally, I'm dealing with the one narcissist and their information and what they did on a Monday, and now my dad's attacking me on a Wednesday. And I just looked at it like, wow, that was such a large chain of abuse and an abusive pattern and an abusive behavior on some level, and it's like you have to break the pattern, you have to break the chain. So I'm still processing it, me personally, like as of what happened, and I'm still trying to put all the pieces together and still figure it out, but at least I'm somewhat farther ahead than I was before. My issue is that I overanalyze everything and overthink everything to death. So for the average person, I'm sure it would be a lot easier, but that's my journey. So I hope my journey and all of my videos are helping somebody out there. And, I'd love your feedback. So if you love it, great. If you don't, that's fine too. Just know, and I always say this, that people that are making these videos are usually doing videos to help you, and they're taking their time out of their day to do this. So if you don't like it, that's one thing. But if you do like it, let us know too. Thanks. Have a good day.